These are the lies of wholesale real estate. Now, you probably are watching wholesale real estate related content and you probably have a lot of great hope for wholesale real estate. And most of this channel is telling you the ins and outs of wholesaling real estate and also encouraging you to keep on pushing on and consistently getting wholesale deals so you can create a wholesale real estate business. And there also is another side of this wholesale real estate business content that I want to relate to you all about the reality of this business and how it can be tough and a little bit difficult for you to succeed and how to come past those hurdles in order to find success. But in today's video, I just want to talk about some of the lies of this business and just talk about the reality of what it actually is like running this business. And I know a lot of you all have experienced this. You know, I get messages and comments from you all saying, hey, I tried this for 7-8 months and I still haven't gotten a deal. You're being real, you're being honest, and we need more of that in this space just to let people know how it actually is in this business and how hard it is to actually get that very first wholesale deal. Now, most of this channel, like I was saying, it helps you go past that and shorten that time in order for you to get that wholesale deal much faster. So make sure you all like this video, comment down below and subscribe, and let me know your experience with wholesale real estate. How's it going? You know, be real, be honest with me, and tell me about the difficulties. And hopefully I can make dedicated videos about those difficulties and how to overcome them. So some of the lies about wholesale real estate, or some things that other wholesale real estate content is not telling you. So number one is that it takes no money at all. That's probably one of the biggest lies in this industry that I think a lot of beginners don't realize. Yes, it's relatively cheap to start this business, right? It doesn't take so much upfront capital like putting 20% down on a long-term rental. However, you still have to invest some money into marketing. I know for me, what led me actually to getting my very first wholesale deal was putting way more money into marketing. For the longest time, it took me 8 months to get my very first wholesale deal. And for the very first few months, it wasn't much money. And with that, I didn't get a deal. But when I actually started to spend the money and actually invest my time, my knowledge into this business, that's what led me to that very first wholesale deal. Now, I'm not saying that you have to spend money, and there are people that get their first wholesale deal through real estate agents that doesn't cost any money. Just pick up your phone and call agents. People have found it off of Craigslist. People have just used their regular phone to call people. There are different ways people can do it with little to no money, 100%, and I have videos on that too. But for most people, you're going to have to spend money on marketing in order to get that very first wholesale deal. So for most people, wholesale real estate does actually cost money. The other thing that I wish I knew about wholesale real estate, or another lie of wholesale real estate, is that it's easy. It's not easy at all. To me, wholesale real estate is probably more difficult than rental properties. It's more difficult than even flipping properties. It's more difficult than a lot of aspects of real estate, because this is the start of a deal. It's that hump, and usually the start of anything is probably the biggest hurdle, right? And that's why a lot of flippers don't mess with this part of real estate. They use wholesalers in order to flip properties. A lot of landlords use wholesalers. A lot of agents use wholesalers. And so wholesale real estate is probably one of the most difficult avenues of real estate. With its difficulty, a lot of people don't get into it, but it has great rewards, right? Because once you have a business and it's getting started, you can generate a decent amount of income in order to do other facets of real estate. And so what makes wholesale real estate super difficult is, first of all, you have to choose the right marketing technique. You may go through 1, 2, 3, 4 different marketing techniques until you actually settle on one. And then with that marketing technique, you have to market, and you have to get phone calls back, and you have to follow up, and you have to meet with sellers, and you have to negotiate, and you have to deal with difficult sellers, and you have to put properties under contract, and then you have to find cash buyers, and then you have to find a good title company. You have to close on this property. You just have to do all these areas of real estate, which is great because you learn a lot, but at the same time, there's so many different parts to it that it is difficult for a lot of beginners to get started. The other lie that you probably don't hear a lot of real estate agents or real estate investors, to be specific, talk about is the profitability of wholesaling real estate. Yes, you can make $1 million in assignment fees, but a lot of people are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on cold calls, on cold callers, on lists, on different softwares, on marketing, on direct mail, on all these different facets of marketing. And yes, you make that much and then you end up profiting what, 80 grand, 100 grand, which is great. It's good money, but you did all that work for that much. And plus now you have to lead a group because you have different agents working for you, closing agents, you have dispo agents, and you have all these different now salary people that you have to take care of, that you have a responsibility making sure they get paid in order for them to provide for their family. And so profitability can be an issue for a lot of wholesalers, even big time wholesalers in this business. I think another lie that I hear people say about wholesale real estate is that this is probably the best way to get started with real estate. And I assumed that was the best way. And I did get started in real estate with wholesale real estate, but this is not necessarily the best way to get started in real estate. If your ultimate goal is to hold rentals and be a landlord and just make passive income, you don't have to start with wholesale real estate. A lot of people start off with just buying their own home and using equity to invest in other properties, or using equity to flip a property, or even house hacking, buying a 4-unit property, living in one unit, renting out the other units. And then when they have income from that, move out, go on to the next one and the next one and the next one. And so wholesale real estate doesn't have to be your start. I would say the majority of real estate investors today probably didn't start with wholesale real estate, right? Most real estate investors started just buying their own home or just buying a rental property, because wholesale real estate is a small niche of real estate investing. I think most people in real estate investing are probably landlords. And so you don't have to get started with wholesale real estate. It's a great way to get started, especially if you don't have much money. And as we spoke about earlier, it does take a little bit of money, but not as much money as putting a huge down payment. But then again, down payments don't have to be huge. Down payments can be 3%. It can be 3.5% in a lot of cases. All right, so the other lie that I hear a lot of people talk about wholesale real estate is get your very first wholesale deal. Like, you can get your deal done in 7 days. And honestly, I understand YouTube. I have videos like get a wholesale deal in the next 30 days, 100%. But the thing is, the timeline, to be realistic, if you're really serious, it may take as long as 3 months in most cases, around 90 days or even longer. And even if you're working hard at it every single day, week in and week out, it still may take you 6 months, 7 months, 8 months to get a wholesale deal. And so the timeline of getting your wholesale deal can be a little bit longer than what you expect it to be. So that's something that you have to consider in wholesale real estate. I think another lie that you may hear, or what I wish I knew more about wholesale real estate, is that you have to keep your emotions intact, because you're going to go through periods, especially getting that very first wholesale deal, where you want to give up, right? You want to just stop. You don't want to continue, but you have to push on. You have to be disciplined, and you have to have hope and see the end in sight. I know I've experienced that. Like, I don't know if this is actually for me. Maybe I should go to another business. Maybe I should do this. And you start having shiny object syndrome, and you don't dedicate yourself to one business for enough time where you can actually see it prosper. And so emotions actually played a big role in this business. And that's probably something you don't hear from a lot of other creators in this niche. Just making sure your mental health is intact and that you're level-headed, right? Make sure you're good at all your other things. Make sure you're still exercising, that good to your family, that you're spending time with them, because that will help balance in this business. Like a week, a month without hearing from us, or even without getting a deal, that can balance you out to you too, and set for success in this business. I enjoyed this video as some of the lies of wholesale real estate. I just wanted to be honest, share my experience with you, because I know our experience this, like these whole different expectations you probably had, but they didn't come in. And so just want to let you know, normal, and this is how it is. That's how life is. But if I can experience all those things and still get a deal and get multiple deals afterwards, you can too. And so that's the encouragement I want to end off this video with, and hopefully we can have more success in this business. All right, you all, hope you all like this video. Be sure to subscribe, comment down below, and I'll talk to you all later.